and became an independent gentleman. And the next thing I knew, he was writing poetry. Now, your heart can sink when you hear that a friend is now writing poetry. I remember, to mention Montague again, I had been a prose writer in my 30s. He came to visit me when I was in my early 30s, and I said, "John, I have 6 or 7 poems I want to show you." And he said, "Don't do it." And I said, "Why not?" And he said, "Because I'm a pro, and I won't lie to you. And if they're no good, I'll tell you. And our relationship will be very difficult from that point on. So you think about it." And I thought about it, and I took a chance, and I showed him the poems. So as I say, one's heart sinks. The day came that I was confronted with Joe's manuscript, and my heart leapt. It leapt for a number of reasons. Everything that I have said about his columns, that empathy with the individual, that getting inside the character, the voice of the character, was in the poems. These are short poems, these are short monologues, these are bursts of generosity of spirit. Even if the people are harried and hag-ridden and having a very, very bad time. There's generosity in the music. Now, I speak of music, and this is the last thing I'll say, particularly. To go back again, in the late 60s, I reviewed an anthology of Canadian poetry that is now, I think, still standard in the high schools. It distressed me enormously. I decided to take 2 or 3 lines from 7 different poets. I put them together into what one could see was a kind of poem. It in fact worked. Why did it work? Because the images were all the same, the tone was all the same. It was a kind of dehydrated Anglo-Saxon. It was as if the authors were terrified of music, the music that is in the language, the feeling. And I got this feeling from a poet that is one of Joe's heroes, Ray Souster, that they were afraid of music. They thought that music was cheating, that music was gussying up the language and taking somehow advantage and pretending that the gray facts of life were more than gray. Thank God when I read Joe's poems, I felt no grayness, though they are grim sometimes. I felt the music. There is a music in these poems that's terrific. It's totally persuasive in its authenticity. So having said that, I'm now going to sit down.